what do you think is like the amount of money or the kind of lifestyle that you, when you think about it, that you really want?
I mean, it's probably, I think for me, it's also tied to the professional success that I want. So I don't think it's just, I want $1 million.
Right.
But it's like, I want to have made $1 million making TV because that signals like, that is like a success point in my career. So it's like, I want to have made movies. I do want the money that comes with making movies because it's a lot of money, but I also want to have done that. And it happens like the industry that I'm in, these professional touchstones come with a lot of money,
Right.
which is not always necessarily the case. So for me, they're very much tied. Like, would I be thrilled to make a super successful movie but make very little money off of it? I'd probably be less happy about that. Like, they
Right.
are probably linked for me. So I definitely don't have like a number, also because I don't think I understand how much I need for the things that I want.
What is like, okay, so like for me, for example, if I had to picture like this is where I am like
Yeah.
hitting on all cylinders,
Yeah.
I have 2 residences in 2 different cities that I can go between when I want to at my leisure.
Yeah.
That's like it. And I know what that costs.
Yeah.
And like, it's not an unfeasible goal eventually in my life. Do you have any kind of goal like that is like very financially based?
Probably living in like the neighborhood, for example, that we're in right now.
This is West Hollywood.
In West
for
Hollywood,
those
like,
keeping
and
score.
I rent here. You know, LA is funny for me because there aren't a ton of areas in LA that I'm like itching to live in. So one thing that I'm not willing to do is to live in a neighborhood in LA just to own a house. Like,
Right.
so for me, it was like being able to buy a house in West Hollywood.
Got it.
Would
I have no context. What does a house in West Hollywood cost?
I mean, so
Like this house. Well, this is a 3-bedroom, like it's just 1 floor. It's imagining this was a standalone house.
I don't know, like 1.5
Oh, really?
maybe, like for maybe more than that, maybe a little bit more than that. But once you get into like in this area, if you keep going a few blocks away and they have these new builds, those are like $3-4 million houses.
Wow.
It gets crazy.
So you want to be able to buy a home in the neighborhood that you want to buy it.
Yeah. And, and a large but important caveat to that is, and it's something that I think about more and more, which is like, so I'm single. And if I had a partner, being able to reach that goal much quicker than I can by myself.
Yeah.
So it's like, that could take me 10 years. It could take me 3 if I was with someone who was also earning, you know what I mean?
Do you find that it motivates you even more to do it by yourself?
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of people, I think, experience that.
I do, but I also kind of resent it.
Yeah.
You know
A
what
lot
I
of
mean?
people experience
Yeah.
that too, I think.
Yeah, like it does. I don't know. I don't know that I need like more of the motivation because I don't think I'd be like, well, I'm fine earning less money because I have this other person. I'd just be like, oh, I'm going to earn the same amount and we're just going to have more money
Right.
to do the things that we want to do. But it is frustrating, especially I think because you'll see people like buy houses and it's like, oh my God, we're congratulating them, whatever. And it's like, well, yeah, because they have 2 working adults.
Yeah.
And
It's
like,
not fair.
yeah, and it's like that is it that matters. And I could be making the same amount as one of them.
Right.
So it's not like they're more quote unquote successful than me.
Yeah, it's true, and we hear that from our audience all the time. It's like no one ever addresses the biggest privilege of all, which is dual income household privilege, which is very true, and there's no getting around that.
Yeah.
But I do feel like I always feel like it's like become a meme now, but like those like 19-year-old Christians on Twitter.
Oh yeah.
Like homeowners baby. And to be honest, like the things financially in my life that that have been the most defining for me is like being able to, rent my own studio apartment in a neighborhood that I loved, when I was a single gal. And there's something about that I think even if, for you feel like you're going through a period, especially if you live in a place like New York or Los Angeles, where it really radically impacts your quality of living. I feel like there's nothing as enriching as being able to do something yourself.
And now that I think about it, I think the house thing feels like such a like background, like of course you want that. I think the things that I want more than anything are like, I would love to just constantly go to nice restaurants with 8 of my friends and everyone gets everything they want and pick up the tab. Like, I love the idea of being able to just like book things and like treat people to things and everyone can enjoy it, or like, we're going to go on a trip and I'll pay for it. Yeah. Because I want you there and I know that like I want us to stay somewhere and I want to do those things. Like the idea of like bringing other people with me on things is maybe like, I can imagine a world where I'm renting, but being able to like do that constantly, and I could maybe be happy with that.
I feel like we talk about that a lot on the show. Like, for me, I think the most fundamental thing is money should be shared. It's meant to be shared. And I think that there's much less happiness to be found in living a very luxuriant lifestyle oneself than to be, you know, we were actually just talking on an episode we just recorded, like I, through work and also just like credit card churning, I have tons and tons and tons of miles and I love them, but I mostly use my miles to buy tickets for other people because it really has no impact on me. And that is something that normally they would not treat themselves to. And whether that's being able to then join them with something or have them come visit or whatever it is, like that has 100 times the value to me than just buying myself another ticket to another place would.
Yeah.
And I think that a lot of people get so focused on their own net worth and their own assets and their own day-to-day lifestyle that they don't really think about like, well, what is the joy that this money could allow in my life? And yes, a house is joyful, but like getting to see your family is more joyful than that.
Yeah. I mean, like being able to, I don't know, have like a really cool experience with my friends where no one is like worried about the bill at the end of it and just gets to like enjoy it. It's like, that feels like that's way more fun than buying a bag. And like, listen, I like buying shit. Like I shop a lot.
Gotta say same.
Yeah.
I do
like,
love buying shit.
You know, I like shopping. I like things, but it's like, that is more fun.